Let's try not to get emotional. This is the first episode with Milo being gone. He ended up passing away last week. Just a couple days after recording, we ended up putting him down on the 26th. On the 25th, here's where I try and not get emotional. On the 25th, I ended up getting home from work. And he really wasn't moving much. And I just picked him up, just kind of did our own thing, started to try and feed him and everything. He wasn't really eating too much. And then I put him out in the sun. Looking back at it, the fact that I had to move him around so much should have been a telltale sign of what was coming. While he was laying in the sun, he wouldn't move, he wouldn't adjust himself, he wouldn't get comfortable or anything, and I was just like, what the heck's going on? So I was just being the sympathetic thing I went down face to face with him, and I looked into his eyes, and it was in that moment that I truly knew that things were coming to an end. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. Seeing him basically look at me and say, I'm done. Like, I've done everything I can. I'm done fighting this. But in the off chance that maybe he was just, like, not, just in case there's still something else, took him back to the vet one more time. And there they confirmed he was in so much pain and agony. He was just tired, and it was time. It was time to end it. It was time to end the pain. It was time to let him move on, and his fight was over. And it's always hard to make that decision because you don't want to give up. But at some point, you do have to come to the realization that the quality of life is not there and that they're just suffering to just try and stay by your side. And it got to a point of where he fought so hard. He fought so hard. Like, realistically, any other cat wouldn't have made it as long as he did with as much energy and as much will to live. But he was just different through and through. But I'm not ready to move on from him. I can't. Moving on from that cat is never something I will ever be able to do. That cat made too much of an impact on my life. He was a big part of the show. He was a big part of my life and through major events that I went through. Which is why Milo will always be here. And I went ahead and pursued a cremation of him. I've never done this with any other animal, and I don't know that I ever will. But for right now, Milo is always going to be a part of the show. And I'm going to put him literally right back here. He never missed a show, and I'm going to make sure he never does. So I think that's the best way to honor him is through making sure that he's always a part of the show going forward, so that way he is still through every single major achievement that I'm still able to make going forward. I'm not ready to ever let him just die away from this channel. He was such a big part of it, and I'm not going to let him just fade away from it. I'd be doing him a disservice. So, I do want to take a short moment of silence for him, though. Yeah. He'll be missed. He's going to be missed dearly. But I think that having him like this, I think it's really cool. I think it's a really nice way of honoring him. And plus, I think the urn itself is actually pretty dang cool. It's a little bit more modern. I chose not to have it personalized or anything because I wanted it kept nice and clean for him. the company that did it also did his little footprint, which really, it's not a little footprint. It is a very, very big footprint. If I was to ever get stressed, you got a little warty stone that I can rub on. So, but he had a big freaking paw print. Jesus. And let's go ahead and answer another question that I think is going to be on people's minds. Will I be getting another cat? I already had one, and her name's Autumn. But yes, I actually already did get another one. It is another tabby cat. He's only 8 months old. His name's Jack. I'm not ready to even attempt making him part of the show, even though I had to kick him off this desk. Okay, I start recording. He gets up here. He goes over there and sits. That's fucked up to me. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It freaked me out a little bit, but he sat right there. He sat right in Milo's spot, like he was waiting for his milk. And I'm just like, can we not? Can we not? The mannerisms of this cat match Milo so fucking creepily. Like, it's weird. It's very, very weird. That was weird. I didn't know. I don't know how to feel about that. It was weird. I didn't like it because I was just like, no, you're not making him a part of the show anytime soon. If he happens to jump up at some point, it is what it is. I'll acknowledge him. I'll pet him. I love him. But, yeah, I'm not going to make it a point to make sure he's here for every single show, to have him eating, drinking, and whatnot. Because, quite frankly, no one can replace Milo and what all he did. And I don't want anyone to get the idea that I'm trying to have Milo replaced. Because there is no replacing Milo. There is definitely not. But anyways, let's get on to the diet this week, okay? What happened? Where am I at? Obviously, last week, I was an emotional mess. I'm not going to lie. I was absolutely terrible. I was completely inconsolable Tuesday and Wednesday. It was the darkest days of my life. When I have to come home and I see my cat just disintegrating, and then Wednesday when he has to be put down and I get that text of he's done, it's over, I'm completely a mess. I absolutely didn't want anything to do with the world those days. So I went ahead and broke keto Wednesday day. And I broke through to Sunday. I'm better now. We're on to Tuesday right now currently, and I'm back on the ketogenic diet. I'm getting back into swing of things. And it really does suck that mentally my outlet is still food. I wish it wasn't still food. It still is, and that kind of just is what it is until I can figure out some other sort of outlet. I wish I could have live streamed, because being able to communicate with other people and just kind of play a video game and just have an outlet was something that I was kind of hoping that I could do, but unfortunately, it's not ready yet. So we'll try and get there in time. And hopefully that'll become a new outlet for stress. So I'm looking forward to that, hopefully someday. And hopefully it works. But right now I had to do a whole another weekend off of keto, which really does suck, because last week we were at 267.4. Odds are we're probably back above 270 now, which sucks, but it needed to happen. So, and I'm probably going to be breaking keto again here in a little bit for Valentine's Day, because I do want to do a Valentine's Day meal that's not keto. It's us just enjoying our day. So that's definitely something that I want to do. Because Valentine's Day only comes once a year. So yeah, we're going to be probably having that coming up here in 2 weeks as well. Just as a side note, I did not do a weigh-in this week. I already know that's not going to be good news. Didn't really feel like documenting it. Plus, I delayed the recording until I got Milo back, because I wanted him to be here for the show. Like I said, he's never missed a show. He will never miss a show. He will be right behind me, as always, right there. And he's heavy, by the way. He is heavy. Not sure if it's urine or him, but it's heavy. Yeah, next week we'll get back onto the weigh-ins, and we'll be trying out some new things. There's going to be a new keto tasting video. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week. It's going to cover a new pizza. I'm excited to show that one. we'll see how it goes. So that's something to look forward to. But for right now, I think that's going to do it for this week. It's just turned into the Milo show lately, which is something I'm really sorry about. But it is the story of my big fat journey, and he was a big part of that story. And I'm just going to tell it. I'm going to tell the story as it happens. So that's what has to happen. But I'm really looking forward to next week. I'm doing better now. And especially now that I have him back, it's kind of like closure, and I feel a lot better. Just flashing back to the final memories. It's always going to get me emotional. It's always going to make my heart drop. It's always going to make me upset. But the fact that I have so many good memories with him is the important thing. Just like this mouse pad. On our trip to Florida, had him in the window. Him and his brother back in the day. Him and a Christmas tree. And then just him being goofy. I always have this mouse pad to remember him by. And now I have him too. But yeah, like I said, just a rough week. On to a better next week, where we can kind of move on and calm down with a couple of things, and we'll be getting back into the swing of things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully no one else is as distressed about Milo as I am, because dear God, that was a rough week. I'll see you guys back here next week. Good night.